Hey, welcome to episode 4 of Take 47 podcast. I first off just want to start by apologizing for the lighting, and probably also by the time this video comes out, I've had to record it 2 times, and I've been waiting for the lighting to get better outside, but it's where I'm supposed to have a storm, and it's only gotten worse. So I'm using some like a ring light to record this, and it's like 8 p.m. So yeah, apologies for that. And here's the topic. Anyway, Trump posted on Truth Social how countries are getting around, instead of using tariffs, how they're still cheating us by using other methods. The World Economic Forum leader Klaus Schwab resigned, I believe, today or Monday, if you're seeing this any other day. But yeah, he resigned, and the 266th Pope of the Catholic Church, died today, early in the morning, the day after Easter. So, starting off with Trump, what you're gonna see on the screen now is really just it's the post. It's Trump's post on like explaining like all the methods about like how they're getting around tariffs instead of using tariffs, which is also like kind of smart, because if they don't hit us with tariffs, Trump can't call any tariffs that we impose on them reciprocal, because they don't have tariffs. They have other things. The first of which is currency manipulation, the VATs, or value-added taxes, dumping below costs, it's stocks, export subsidies and other government subsidies, protective agricultural standards, protective technical standards, counterfeiting, piracy, IP theft. Pretty much all of these are self-explanatory, but the one you might be wondering about is probably the VAT, valued added tax, or in other places also called goods and service tax. So basically, every time something gets sold, a product, a tax is put on it, on the buyer. So technically, the final buyer is the only one paying the real tax. It's kind of like when you play Uno with your family, and you get hit with a take 4, and then you just stack on more cards, and plus 2, plus 4, plus 2, plus 2, plus 4, and you're not actually going to feel the impact of any of those cards. You're just like adding on to the pile, until like the last person who can't keep up the chain gets hit with like plus 40. So that's like pretty much how value added tax works, or like goods and services tax, whatever you want to call it. It's not a rare thing. It exists in about like 160 countries at different rates. But yeah, it's a good way to like make revenue, and a good way to like get funds for the country. Okay, so the next thing is Klaus Schwab. Sorry if I mispronounced that. He was the leader or head of the World Economic Forum organization. Doesn't really have like political power. It has political influence on some world leaders, and they're like pretty hardcore, globalists. Klaus Schwab, again, sorry if I mispronounced that, he has made some pretty crazy, claims. They want us to live in pods, eat bugs for protein, and own nothing and be happy, which is, something that a few administrations have, are pretty good at. Like the Biden administration, the house costs are like insane, plus inflation and other like add-ons. I live in the Midwest, in Indiana to be specific. We're like a relatively moderate state in like terms of like size and like population and all that. Um, but in the like around, in our state, the like a brand new home is like $400,000 plus add-ons, and like a used home can be from like 150K to like 600K. Like, we're talking about homes like they're, within reason, within decency, not like 40 room mansions. We're talking, like where the average family would live in. But yeah, the departure of Klaus Schwab, also like about, specifically, also like, is it just me, or have I like seen this guy in like kids movies? Like, I'll probably like pop up some photos of like what I mean, but like some pretty much like identical like cartoon villains in kids movies and all that. But yeah, but like you might be asking, why is this important? Why is him resigning like any impact on the world, really? But it really just, it's not like that big of an impact like the next topic we have. But it really just like leaves an open spot for somebody like a newcomer to take his position, which I'm not really sure who that would be, but you should leave down in the comments who you think it is. There's like a few candidates that are like within reason for the next leader of that organization. But yeah, Klaus Schwab is not the only 88-year-old who has left a position open. The 266th Pope of the Catholic Church has passed away in Monday morning, the day after Easter. And this is, people are obviously sad because he passed away, but there's some crazy things going on. One of which are the J.D. Vance conspiracy theories. For those of you who do not know, J.D. Vance went to the Vatican to visit the Pope yesterday on Easter. He went to visit the Pope and really to just talk for a few minutes, express appreciation for each other. The Pope gave JD a few gifts and his family a few gifts. After a Pope dies, there's like a tradition to mourn the Pope for about 9 days. And then there's like a 5-day prep period for an election where I believe the cardinals and bishops or archbishops, I'm not really sure like the positions and the status of everybody in the Catholic Church. But yeah, a few like technically they're also technically they're delegates. They vote on the next pope after I believe 4 rounds of voting. If nobody, by the way, you need a 2/3 majority to be elected. And after about like 4 rounds of voting, if a new pope hasn't been elected, they burn the ballots with a chemical that makes the smoke come out black, like pretty dark smoke. But if a new pope has been elected, they, I believe, also like still burn the ballots, and the smoke that comes out is white, or well, it's technically gray, but for the purposes of symbolism and whatnot, let's just call it white. But yeah, the position for the next pope is open to a few candidates who are like leading and actual candidates, not just like jokes. There's a handful of people who might run for the position of pope, but I'm only going to cover I'm only going to mention like a few, like the actual like leading contenders. The advisor to the last pope we had, so the one that died, Parilin. Not sure how you pronounce that. Also, I'm gonna butcher every single one of these. The next one is, I believe, a cardinal. The next one, I believe, is a cardinal. The next one, I believe, is a cardinal from the Philippines. His name is Luis Antonio Tagle. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Another one is Peter Erdo from Hungary. And another one is Fridolin Ambongo. He's pretty much the guy in charge of Africa and Madagascar. And the last one is Robert Serra. He is, I believe, the Cardinal of Guinea. But yeah, on those last two, if they actually were to get elected, I believe they would be the first black pope. I'm not Catholic or familiar with Catholic history or tradition or whatever, but I'm not like 100% sure on this. But you should probably like check by with your own eyes. Don't trust me on this, but I believe that they would be one of them would be the next. One of them would be the first black pope if they were to get elected, that is. But yeah, anyway, I apologize for the lighting. I'm supposed to have a storm, and the schedule for the videos, it's been a little sloppy. I've tried to release them Monday, Wednesday, and Friday early, which has gone very wrong. It's about like 8 p.m. where I am right now. Yeah, but I'll probably make either like a change to the schedule, or the timing, or the day. And yeah, if eventually, like in these next few days, I'll be making like a ton of shorts, just like ranking every president, from Washington to Trump. Well, I'll probably do Washington to Biden, because I mean technically, I'm not really gonna judge Trump on this term. I'll just judge him on the last one. At the end of like all the shorts that I post on this specific thing, I'll just make like a big compilation of all the shorts. And eventually later on, when we have more people watching and more people subscribe to the channel, I'll do like another one of these with like more detail and explanation why. But yeah, these are just gonna be like some light surface work for like every short. I'll try to like list off positives, negatives, things they could have done better, and things they did wrong. And at least I would say from like FDR, like starting at FDR and till like current day, pretty much most of the things they did are like, it depends like what you're what you are socially, what way you lean politically. But yeah, it really depends. And I do guarantee that there will be some hot takes, for at least for some of you. Some of you might actually just agree with me on who's on some of my hot takes. But yeah, I'll try to upload the next video probably Wednesday, but I can't guarantee that. It might come out late, it might come out early. I'll have to see. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you did like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell. And in these like first few videos, I'm really just experimenting like how I'm gonna do this. I've specifically like for today's video, I tried to cover less topics but go in more deeply on these topics. I believe in episode 3, so like Friday technically, or Saturday, I covered like a big variety of topics, on what I just covered like a big variety of topics, but more surface on the topics. I didn't really go that deeply into some of those topics. But yeah, anyway, if you do have, but any, yeah, anyway, if you do have any like suggestions for topics I should cover or things I should do, uh, definitely like leave them down in the comments, and I'll check them out. I'll most likely do them depending what they are. Um, yeah, you can follow me on TikTok and Instagram as the same name of here on YouTube, Take 47 Podcast. And yeah, thank you for watching, and see you next time.